One of the most common questions I get when I'm out and about is from stylists that say, Sam, how do you work with a flat iron to achieve a sleek, smooth, silky finish? Really simple, my friends. It's all about understanding the technique of a flat iron and how to work with it, but not only that, your product of choice. My product of choice in this particular case is going to be Redken's Iron Silk 07. Iron Silk, exactly what it says, as smooth as silk. But not only that, it's a heat protector, and that's important when we work with the sleeker or any flat iron. Here's what I'm gonna do. I've pre-done some of this and you can see how I'm getting it really smooth and sleek. I'm gonna work with this particular case, horizontal sections. Sometimes I find that I work with a lot of diagonal sections so I get the hair to fall in its natural position. But I'm really gonna work with a horizontal section because I want you to see how I'm placing the iron in. Now, one of the next things we need to be aware of is this, is the three components in terms of method when working with an iron, or like I like to refer to, the principles of working with a flat iron. Number one is heat. Heat is our best friend. Now, as you can see, I have it on high. Color-treated hair, I'm gonna take it and place it on the color-treated temperature, 392. So it's not to explode all those color molecules. Remember that. It's not necessarily the high temperature of heat that makes something smooth and sleek. So heat is important. It's our best friend, yet it's our best friend only when we're in control of heat. Secondly is compression. Now watch what Sam's gonna do. If I have, let's say, fine hair, I don't need a lot of compression. So look at the length of the iron. I'm gonna place my hand down more towards the controls, so I have less compression at the plates. The curlier or the wavier the hair is, the higher I move my hand. So look at this. The more compression I want, the closer I move to the plates. I don't want to move over the plates because I've kept the outside nice and hot, so you can do some curl type of tricks working with the sleeker. So in this particular case, look at what I'm working with. So my compression, I'm going to move somewhere in the middle a little bit higher, so I get a nice medium to high compression. Next is tension. The more compression, the more tension I have. But what I want you to remember is what creates the tension is the speed. So often I walk into salons and I'll see this, where stylists are taking sections and they'll come in and they're working with their comb. Now make sure you comb through this. Even though it's natural wave or natural curl, comb through that. Now watch what I'm gonna do. I walk in salons and they're doing this, and they're going over it and over it. What you're doing is you're going through and you're using a lot of muscle memory. That's not necessary. Let the heat work for you. What do I mean? Slow the speed down so you get more concentration of heat, more concentration of compression and tension all working at once. Allow me to show you. So I'm going to take this section. My comb goes in. I like to work with the wide teeth of the comb. Just because this has a lot of natural curl and wave to it, the comb goes in. Now watch. Iron goes in. I think sometimes we elevate too high and we place the iron too close to scalp. It's not necessary. I'll show you how to go in and get the scalp area in a moment. Now watch. I'm going to start moving the iron before I even close. Now I close and look at my tension. Look at my speed. Look at how I'm letting the heat and the tension and compression work for me. Now look at that. All in one sweep, I've been able to create a nice sleek section. Now watch this. Fine teeth of the comb go on top of the scalp. The outside of the iron comes in, and now I'm starting to work at that scalp area. See how I got that scalp area a little straighter? Watch this in this area. Fine teeth of the comb, iron comes on top. Sam, are you burning the client? No, not at all. But what I'm doing is, look at that. Look how this works. Iron goes right on top of the fine teeth of the comb, and I just come through. That's a great way to kind of release any little wave movement that you might have in the scalp area. I know, it's cool, isn't it? Once again, fine teeth of the comb, place the outside of the iron. You have a hairdresser that's making tools for you. I kept this portion hot for this particular technique. So coming through right on the fine teeth and slowly working through from the base. Now look at that. Look how straight I've been able to get that. So because I don't want you to go so close with the iron. Sometimes we try to get so close to scalp, we might burn the client. Number two, you're gonna get a bevel on an end and you're gonna get lift. It's not conforming to the natural shape of the head. Watch again, my friends. Really, really important. This time, let me use the Iron Silk on the section. Slice with your clip with natural curly hair. You're gonna have a lot more control with that instead of using your comb, or you could use the sectioning clip that I gave you on the comb. Okay, let's go through with our iron silk. When we're gonna go with our heat activated product, we're gonna spray at least a minimum of 6 inches away. So I'm gonna go 6 inches away and just missed that section. That's critical, okay? Iron silk, my favorite to get it nice and silky and smooth. Comb, iron, heat, compression, and tension. Taking my section, gonna working through and working with the fine teeth of the comb. Get your tangles out on natural curly hair. If it's so tangled, I want you to go in vertically so you're not pulling in on the client so much. Okay, here comes the iron now. Don't worry so much about that area there. Come through. Iron comes in. I'm going to go from medium to high compression. Notice how I started to move my iron and then I closed. Slow your speed down. Look how much muscle memory I'm using. So I'm not going over the same section over and over and over again. Just coming through. If you don't get your tangles out, look what happens. I'm not going to stand in front of you and claim I'm perfect. But understanding what I'm doing and why I'm doing is important. Coming back through that section. Right through it. Now watch what I'm going to do. Look how straight and smooth that section is. Give it a little bit of bevel. Come through and right through that to the ends and nice and smooth. Watch that scalp area. Look at the little crinkles I got. Fine teeth of the comb placed in. You'll see the hair pop out from the fine teeth. Iron comes in and nice and smooth at the scalp. Didn't comb through that, Sam. Sorry about that. Here we go through. And once again, right through at that scalp area. Nice and smooth. Great way to get it to lay down and stay nice and smooth when you work with it. Right in this area here, coming right through. I'm gonna move that back and away from her face. Okay, now here's another hot tip. Let's say I want some bevel, okay? Put the comb down and let's say we want some movement out of this section. So I'm gonna take this section, work with my iron silk, minimum about 6 inches away, okay? I'm gonna come through and make sure I get my tangles out. Really stretch this curl a little bit. Now let's give it some bend and some movement. Now watch this. So working with the flat iron, the sleeker and a round brush, just to get a little bit more bevel and movement. But here with this technique, you're using a little bit more muscle memory. So I want that heat just to conform around the movement, just to shape around that brush. Now watch this. Let's get some movement and some bevel that moves towards the face. And look at how you've been able to move it. In the old days, I'd be there with a blow dryer doing this. A lot of pain in my shoulders and working really hard. Hopefully this will help you to work a lot easier. So I've given you 2 techniques here. One, working with a comb, so you get something smooth and sleek. And when I want bevel and movement, I'll work with a round brush. And remember, my product of choice in working with a sleeker or any flat iron is Redken Iron Silk 07 for a smooth, sleek finish. Thanks for this, and all I want to do is keep bringing you techniques that move you from good to great as a hairdresser standing behind the chair.